Top 10 urban legends debunked. The number 10, made in USA, Japan. Apparently, the Japanese renamed a town in Japan to USA so they could legally export goods to the US and conceal their place of origin. This legend was spurred by the fact that in post-war America, made in Japan, became synonymous with cheap, poorly made with goods. It is, of course, ludicrous to think that American customs officials would simply ignore the import of products that are clearly labeled to mislead. An interesting addition to this tale is that Sony Corporation intentionally made their made in Japan labels small so that American people would not realize that it was a Japanese company. A large number of Sony's shipments were turned away by customs officials because the labels were smaller than regulations required them to be. Number 9. Who invented the toilet? Contrary to popular belief, it was not Thomas Crapper. Crapper is known to most as an ingenious Victorian plumber who came up with the idea of a flushing lavatory. The majority of this deceit comes from a book written in 1969 by Wallace Rayburn, Flushed with Pride. The story of Thomas Crapper. The author also wrote Bust Up, the uplifting tale of Otto Tudzling and the development of the bra. Crapper was in fact a plumber and he did take out a number of plumbing related patents in his time, but none of the flush toilet. In reality, Alexander Cummings is generally credited as being the inventor of this illustration gadget in 1775, 50 years before Crapper was born. Joseph Bram and Thomas Freeford improved upon Cummings' design by adding the ballcock. Finally, the use of the word crapper for a lavatory is of unknown origin, but is believed to have started out in America. Number 8. The daddy long legs. For quite some time, there has been a rumor spreading that the daddy long legs spider is the most poisonous spider, but is unable to kill humans simply because its fangs are not strong enough to pierce our skin. In fact, there is a small twist here. It is not possible for us to test the toxicity of the spider because of international codes of ethics and Amnesty International, which prevent the inevitable harming of the spider during testing. In reality, the most poisonous spiders are the brown recluse, the funnel web spiders. Number 7. Lemming occasionally throw themselves from cliffs. This urban legend has quite an awful beginning in the 1958 Disney documentary White Wilderness. A camera crew forced a group of lemmings off a cliff to document their supposed suicidal behavior. The film was made in Canada and lemmings were brought in for the film after they were purchased from Eskimo children. The lemmings were filmed in a variety of artificial situations and then headed to a cliff where they were pushed to the edge to stimulate a migration. It is unknown whether Disney was aware of the behavior of the film crew, but the fact remains lemmings do not throw themselves from cliffs. Number 6. Kentucky Fried Chicken name change, that is KFC. The legend is the Kentucky Fried Chicken changed its name to KFC because they feared to word fried had negative connotations not good for marketing. There was also another ludicrous legend that surely no one would believe. It claimed that KFC was breeding super chickens to get more meat from them, and by law they could not refer to them as chickens because they were a new breed of animal. As it turns out, a Kentucky Fried Chicken was not concerned about bad publicity at all. In fact, the company has not given a specific reason for the name change. You may be interested to know that the company is now once again beginning to use the original name of Kentucky Fried Chicken. Number 5. The most holy religion of JD. Some years ago, a strange rumor started to pass around the internet. They claimed that if enough people wrote JD as their religion on a census form, the government would be compelled to include it as a official religion on the next census. This first started with an English census in 2001, followed by an Australian one and a New Zealand one in the same year. Not only as it entirely false, in Australia and New Zealand you can be fined $1,000 for falsifying your census result. Not only do you ask a fine, the census information is used to determine allocation of tax funds. So by lying, people are doing other members of society a deserve disservice. Number 4. Snuff films. Snuff films are movies of people being killed. Most rumors claim they are made to order due to the high risks involved in distribution. The legend surrounding snuff films often piggybacks on other rumored films of cannibalism, necrophagia, and necrophilia. This myth has been helped along in recent years by films such as 8mm starring Nicolas Cage, which treats the subject as if it were fact. In reality, there has not once been a snuff film found. Every time there is a report in the press about one upon investigation, it turns out to be false. There is even a $1 million reward for anyone that can come forward with a commercially sold snuff film. A reward has been offered to for many years now, with no one ever attempting to claim it, though perhaps that is understandable. Number 3. McDonald's shakes are made from reconstituted animal fat. This rumor has been very popular on the internet, and I even remember it from my own childhood. The belief was that the liquid poured into the milkshake machine and the ice cream machine at McDonald's was reconstituted fat, either from pigs or chickens. Nowadays, fast food restaurants like McDonald's are required by law to make the full nutritional information of their products available to consumers. This is the complete list of ingredients in McDonald's shake: whole milk, sucrose, cream, non-fat milk solids, corn syrup solids, mono and diglycerides, gum, vanilla flavor, carrageenan, cellulose gum, vitamin A palmitate. Admittedly, some of these things sound a little weird, but they are all perfectly safe for human consumption and aside from the milk are not animal byproducts. Carrageen is a type of seaweed, also called Irish moss, used to control freezing in the shakes. If it were excluded, the milkshake would be a solid block of ice. Number 2. Santa Claus was invented by Coca Cola. In the 1930s, Coca Cola was looking for ways to spread their burgeoning empire during the winter months, traditionally slow for soft drink sales. They had an Sandblom, a highly regarded commercial illustrator, who proceeded to create a series of images of Santa Claus associating him with Coke. His drawings became a regular annual sight for the Coca-Cola Corporation, which helped spur on the idea. They had convinced the image. In fact, the red-suited jolly man was already a well-established depiction of Santa Claus by the 1920s. The New York Times reported this in 1927. A standardized Santa Claus appears to New York children. Height, weight, stature are almost exactly standardized, as are the red garments, the hood, and the white whiskers. The pack full of toys, ruddy cheeks and nose, bushy eyebrows, and a jolly, paunchy effect are also inevitable parts of the requisite makeup. Last, the number 1. Walt Disney's body is cryogenically frozen. The rumor tells us that Walt Disney, who was well known for being a technical innovator, had his body put into a vat of liquid nitrogen upon his death so he could be reanimated when scientists discovered the means. Some versions of the tale even tell us that Walt's cryovat is hidden under the Pirates of the Caribbean attraction in Disneyland. And the reality, this rumor is entirely false. On December 15, 1966, Walt Disney died of complications from the treatment he was receiving for lung cancer. Following Disney's wishes, his family had him cremated. They have since confirmed this fact, and his ashes were interred at the Forest Lawn Memorial Park in Glendale, which you can visit to this day.